I had White Castle for lunch and a milkshake with dinner. And I don't think I'm lactose intolerant, but I also don't think I'm lactose tolerant. So my wife told me I have to hang out down here in the Cluttered Basement Studios. That's fine. I like being down here anyway.
Welcome to CK4RC.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chaz. This is CK4RC. I've got my green-ish Crawler Tracks shirt on today. What'd you go for a green shirt for today, Chaz? Well, listen, I'm going to tell you here in just a minute. First things first, check out Crawler Tracks. Check out Only RCs. I've got discount codes for both of them down in the description. You can save 20% from Only RCs. You can save 10% from Crawler Tracks. I have a discount code for Hobby Plus. You can save 10% from them. I have affiliate links for Direct RC and Amazon and Hobby Plus. Whatever. Check them all out. Save money. Get good stuff. It's just a win. Anyway, back to what's happening with the green shirt. Well, I got a parts lot a while back, and in that parts lot was this frame. See that number on there? This is a good old Axial B17 Betty limited edition frame. See the number up front? Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. So I don't have a Betty, and it came like this, stripped down. I wasn't really going to do anything with it. I didn't have any plans. I was just going to kind of keep it on the shelf as just kind of a neat little RC memento, if you will. Well, then recently I started thinking more about it, and I was like, why not do something with it? It's already been stripped down, so I don't have to worry about devaluing it. Also, there's not a whole lot of value with these anyway. They've made, I was about to say 10,000. They made 9,999. Whatever. So they flooded the market with a limited edition product. So there is a small value for these box stock, especially if they're still sealed in the box. This one obviously isn't. So I posed the question, if I'm going to build a Betty, and I might as well because I have the chassis for it, should I go full on stock restoration? Should I go a resto mod and keep it stock looking, but with upgraded components such as oil shocks, high clearance aluminum links, steel or aluminum drive shafts, stuff like that. Higher quality components, but still keep it looking stock. And then option number 3 was go all out, because why not? I don't have anything to lose. It's a stripped down chassis. And the vast majority of people said, go hog wild, go all out, go nuts with it. So I've got the chassis, and now I've got myself a Betty build bag, my good old system here. Whenever I'm starting to put a build together, I get all the components and I put them in a bag. That way I know what I have and what I don't have. Now, I went ahead and I had a couple extra chassis laying around that I think these also came in that same parts lot. So just in case I want, like the body post, or if I want the ESC tray or the battery tray, if I need a stock, hinge mount, whatever. So have those. And then I went ahead and I went with a Robski Fabrication stock chassis kit. And this is really cool because, one, these right here give you shock mounting options to mount directly on the chassis. It comes with sliders as well, and then these little spacers down here, you can trim those off and have some spacers for your shocks and things like that. So a really cool kit to improve a stock chassis. So obviously I'm going to use a stock chassis. It's a Betty chassis. That's the whole point of the build, is using the stock chassis. But I want to make the chassis better. The Robski Fab Kit does just that. And then I went ahead and I got some Betty front and Betty rear high clearance links from him. So these are kind of the raw aluminum look. Nice looking components there from Robski Fab. Got some brass steering links from Injora in case I want to go with the resto mod look. And I've got black high clearance links from Hobby Park. Keep things kind of low key, And what else do I have? I have some good Mias drive shafts. Keep things nice and solid. Of course, I got the Betty bumper kit with the lights because it does have distinct bumpers for that kit, so had to get that. And then I went ahead and I got this ESC tray. It's an angled ESC tray, so instead of sitting flat like this right here, it actually angles down into this part of the chassis just to drop that COG a little bit more. So got that as well. And then, in case I want to go hog wild, like most people chose, I started getting some color coordinated parts. And I went with green because the Betty, I mean, it's got that classic green and gray paint job. So I went with green steering links from Trio. I got green high suspension links from Injora, and then some green oil shocks from Injora as well. So we got all those. I have 2 Betty bodies. That sounds funny. Busy Betty bodies. One of them I'm going to do straight up Betty body. The other one, I think I'm going to try to add a little bit of flair and fancy it up a little bit. Still going to be a Betty theme, but not just a plain old stock one. So that's what I'm going to do with the second Betty body. Now, I still need to pick out some parts. So I'm going to flip you around and I'm going to gather up a few more things that I'm missing over here. So hang tight. All right, well, first up, let me get down here in the old parts bin. Honestly, I don't even know what all I've got down here. These are suspension links. I don't think I need suspension links. I've got some axles over here. I could go with some stock axles I have down here in the bottom. I've got some Super 8s. I've got some X15s for Mofo. So I guess it just depends on what kind of build I go with from there. Drive shafts, I don't need any of those. Servo stuff. Transmissions. Probably need a transmission. Do I have a green one? Ooh, this one will look good. There we go. Maybe go with this Mias transmission. That one looks even better. Go with that. I like that. I don't have a green one. I have red. I have black. I have silver. We'll go with silver. I like a silver transmission for the Betty build. I already checked out the axles. We'll figure that out later. We have shock. So if I want to go the kind of the resto mod, I've got the axial oil shocks. They're pretty good. I think I also have some other, like maybe some Injora shocks in here as well or something. So shock options for whichever direction I want to go. Skids, here we go. I think I have a green skid down here actually somewhere. A brass one. Yeah, down the bottom. There it is. Of course it's down the bottom. I got one, not knowing what I would ever use a green skid for. A Betty build, that's what I'm going to use a green skid for. Okay. Got overdrive and underdrive gears, depending on that stuff. We'll figure that out. Oh yeah. Here's my servo I'm going to go with. The good old PTK, green and silver. The green horn. That's going to be great. And probably need a motor. I'll figure that out if I'm going to go brushless. Actually, if I'm going hog wild, I know exactly what motor I'm going to use. Get down here in my brushless systems. Hobby Wing, no. Yak, no. Fury Tech, no. This one might be it right here. Let me see. Yep. The green Goop RC, that's going to be perfect. Actually, I don't even need a transmission. It comes with a transmission. So, that works. So go with the green brushless Goop RC motor and ESC. That'll be a great combo for that. And then put this Mias transmission back where I got it. Where were my transmissions at though? Yep, there it is. Okay. There we go. All right, last thing, get my wheels over here and figure out what wheels I want. I don't want silver wheels. I don't want silver wheels. I don't want black wheels. Nope. Here we go. I got these black and green Injora wheels. Not bad. Got these black and green Trio wheels. Also not bad. well, that's not going to work. I don't want to use any of those. Don't need any of that stuff. That's just brass. Oh, there's also these red spider wheel, black and green wheels. Came with tires. I'm not going to use those tires. But I could potentially use those wheels. So let me know which wheels you like the best between the black and green wheels. The red spider, the Endura, or the Trio. Drop a comment and let me know which ones you like best. So there's the Betty build. Drop a comment down below and let me know. First, let me know which wheels you like the best. But then also let me know. See, I'm a sucker for color coordination, so I would go for all the green. But let me know, should I go with the green and just make it loud and obnoxious? Should I go with the black and just kind of keep it more toned down? Let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll see what happens. I have a feeling I know which direction I'm going to go, but time will tell, and I will see what you all have to say as well. In the meantime, hit the quadfecta for me before you go. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Keep doing RC stuff. I'll see you next time. Big time thank you to my members and channel partners, and if you would like to join the ranks, click on that join button for exclusive content, never before seen videos, early access to videos, and other exclusive content, pictures, polls, and having an active voice in what comes next on the channel. So appreciate the support. Click on that join button, and thank you so much to the channel members.